Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and of course this is my channel. Okay, before I get started, as always, follow me on Instagram, jessicakuma_. The rest of my social medias are in the description box down below. I'm sick of naming like 5 of them in a row. Anyways, I honestly don't know what this video title is going to be called. I think it may be what they don't tell you about rhinoplasty part 2, but maybe not. We'll see during my editing process. But anyways, this is basically that. Some of the things that I guess I've seen over the past a while, but maybe more so, like more frequently within the past few months, I'm just like, I feel like I need to talk about this because I don't know, rhinoplasty is not, we're just diving into it. Rhinoplasty is not like the easiest decision. That's not what I mean. There's just so much more that comes with rhinoplasty than just, oh, getting a nose job and then moving on with life, right? Like obviously things don't always go according to plan. I'm like prime example of that. And yeah, we're just gonna be getting more into that today. I do have some notes on my laptop just of like things that I wanna go over, and I don't know, just be a free flowing conversation, I guess. Obviously I know everyone is in a different, you know, part of their journey. Some people are like, this is like research for some people. Others literally post-op. Some people are getting it tomorrow. Some people have already have already done it a long time ago. Okay, so we're just gonna get right into it. So the first point I have is psychological effects. I feel like not a lot of people talk about this. I don't know why, maybe because it's hard to even like get into depth with, which I'm trying right now. But basically, when you get rhinoplasty, if you're thinking about it, you have to realize that like you're changing a feature on your face, on your nose, depending on like when you get it. Let's say 18 is, I don't know if that's the youngest, 18 to like if you're in your 40s or 50s, this is the face that you've seen for how many years of your life, right? So now you're changing something that you have, I'm looking at it in the reflection of a TV. This is something that you've seen for your whole life, and you are changing something. So you have to get used to that fact, that knowing that something is going to change, that like you're not going to wake up from surgery and you're not going to look like how you used to look, right? It's a big decision. And yes, it seems so like duh, like of course I know I'm changing something on my face, I'm getting my nose how I want it to look, but you have to really realize that like you are changing something that you're so used to seeing a certain way. I've been seeing in like some of the Facebook groups that people are like, I hate the way I look now, like I didn't know it would change me this much. Like on basically regretting their decision. Maybe not regretting, but there is obviously a sense of regret that, you know, is underneath that. And it's like, it's hard to see, it's hard to read, it's hard to like, you know, it's just hard to see that, because I feel like some people go into rhinoplasty being like, I'm gonna change my face and it's gonna be exactly what I want, and boom. And yes, of course some people have that experience, and that's like, I was gonna say that's amazing, and I guess it is if that's what you want, but also some people just like dive right into it and they're like, oh shit, like I didn't realize how much of a decision or how big of a decision this is going to be. So that's just something I want to bring up, because there is a psychological effect to this, that's like if you don't know what you're really diving into, and now you have, it's not, I wouldn't call it body dysmorphia, but it's like, what is that, facial dysmorphia? Like you're so used to one thing. I keep bringing this analogy up, but you're just so used to seeing your face for the past like 30, 40, 20 years of your life, and now all of a sudden you don't even recognize yourself. Like that is something you have to know that it's part of the process of getting rhinoplasty. And for some people it could be very hard, very tasking on them. Tasking. Difficult, I'll use the word difficult. It can be very difficult on them mentally, emotionally, physically. So yeah, I just have to bring that up. Rhinoplasty is not like, you know, getting a tummy tuck or just like removing some fat from your arms. It is something that you literally can't, I don't want to say escape, but you just, it's right here, you know, it's right here. At least for like other things, I guess, on your body, you can, you know, you can wear clothes, you can wear a long sleeve. Yeah, clothes basically, I just mean clothes. But on your face, it's like, what are you gonna do? Wear a 95 for the rest of your life? No, you know? So just take into account that this is a big decision, and don't rush into rhinoplasty, please. Okay, the next point, and this is honestly coming from a personal point of view, you don't have to listen to this point, but it would help. I recommend that your rhinoplasty surgeon is also an ENT. So ENT is ears, nose, and throat doctor. Why is my hand doing this? Ears, nose, and throat doctor, and this just means that they went to school for a little bit more. They understand what's actually going on, you know, in there. And from my personal experience, I had a better overall experience from an ENT surgeon. Next. Okay, the next point I have is side effects, which I'm not going to go through the side effects of rhinoplasty because I'm sure like if you're researching, you know it. If you've already done your surgery, you know it. If you're in the process of booking it right now, they send you all the side effects as well, right? So the reason why I had this in the first place is that in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in, I've been seeing a lot of people, okay, obviously I don't want to say complain because complain is not the right word, but sharing their experience and having some side effects that I honestly didn't even know could be a thing, but these things happen, right? For me, I was gonna say remember, but obviously not everyone here has watched my whole journey, but for my first rhinoplasty, I ended up getting septal perforation, and that's basically when you have a nose in your septum. You have a hole in your septum, and sometimes I would hear whistling when I would inhale. So that got fixed the second time around, thank the Lord. I also have nasal drip, which some people have been experiencing months after surgery, and that's obviously not normal. Like, yes, your nose is dripping, especially within the first, you know, couple of weeks, maybe even months for some people, but some people just have side effects that, you know, aren't really talked about, aren't really shared about too much. Another story that I saw was that months after surgery, someone was having long mucus and blood coming out of their nose, and obviously that is not normal. I guess that is a side effect. I don't know specifically what that side effect would be called. I don't know if it would still be called nasal drip, but this is just something you have to really, you know, take into account, right? Like, please don't just jump into rhinoplasty. Don't make the decision one day and then you have a doctor available the next day. You're like, okay, I'm doing it. You know, side effects happen. As I said, I have my story. There's so many stories out there. And yeah, just know that it may not be a one and done situation. You may have like other things to work through afterwards, right? So for me, for example, if I had this result the first time around, but I had septal perforation, I wouldn't get another rhinoplasty, but I would get surgery for septal perforation itself, right? So sometimes it's like, yeah, you get the rhinoplasty, you have a side effect. It's not that you necessarily get a revision or a second rhinoplasty, but there may be something internally that you do need to fix or do need to like go over, you know? So keep that into account. Like, obviously, I freaking hope and wish for everybody that it's just a one and done situation and you don't have to go back and there's no side effects at all, but like, life, you know, life, things happen. Okay, so basically I have this little last tip, and it's basically on choosing a doctor and like how to go about that. Okay, I feel like a lot of people are going off of this is like, I'm like serious. No, but I feel like a lot of people are going off of price, and like, don't do that, please, because honestly, usually, I don't want to say all, like, of course there's some people that get their rhinoplasty for a very low price and everything turns out well, but that is not how it happens in the majority of the cases. And I'm going to say the opposite as well. There are some people who pay like over 5 figures, I would say, for rhinoplasty, and they don't love the results as well. So don't let price be your #1 reason why you're going to a certain surgeon. These are the same 3 steps I literally tell everyone who asks me, like, how did I choose like, how did I go about choosing like a surgeon for my rhinoplasty, or my revision at least? Okay, #1, results. Look at the surgeon's results, look at their before pictures, find noses that look similar to the nose that you have now, look at their after, see the difference between it, see like, would that after nose look good on my nose? Look at your wish pics, compare that to the after pictures as well. Like, results are #1, because by the end of the rhinoplasty, you actually want to, you know, get the results that you want, right? You want to get the results that are close to your wish pics, close to what you're desiring. You don't want to go for price and then end up with a nose that is totally different than what you expect and then have to do a revision or just be unhappy forever. We don't want that. We don't want that here. The second thing I would say is availability. So depending on when you want your surgery, obviously some surgeons I know right now that are booked like for the rest of the year. You have to go to 2023. Other surgeons, I'm sure they're available literally next week, right? So availability is very important, but obviously you want to see, okay, can the surgeon produce the results I want? Yes. Okay, when is the next availability? That is the process, I would say, personally. Obviously, these are all personal thoughts. So #1, results. #2, availability. And number 3, price. I know some people would switch number 2 and 3 around just in case, like, if you're not rushing to get it, or if like you don't mind getting it in 2, 3, 4 years, but you just know you want a rhinoplasty in the future. But personally, that's like the route that I would take. I say price would go last because honestly, first you want to make sure that you're, you know, getting the results that you want. And then you want to make sure that your surgeon is like available within a certain time frame depending on your situation. And then number 3, go for price, because if you go for price first, as I said, the results may not be there, and that's what's most important, that you actually get what you want at the end of the day. So yeah, that was like a little, I would call it a deep dive into rhinoplasty. I think that's the title of the video, a deep dive into rhinoplasty. The truth about rhinoplasty. I don't know, it doesn't matter right now. But yeah, these are just things I want to talk about because I feel like I've been seeing the same patterns, especially like a lot of people not happy with the results, you know, unsatisfied with the results, regretting a lot of things, not knowing what they're actually going into, not being happy with what they're seeing in the mirror, choosing surgeons the wrong way, just a lot of things. I'm like, hey, let's talk about this, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. I will answer. I answer pretty much every comment. What else? If you want to ask me a question, just DM me. I answer all my DMs. Oh, another thing too. If you're gonna DM me, please DM me in English, because then I can't understand, because I only speak English. Like it's hard for me to translate everything you're saying and then go back and forth in a different language. So like, I'm assuming you understand what I'm saying now since you're messaging me, but if it's in another language, it's hard for me to actually communicate with you. I was gonna say with me and you. Yeah, I'm always here to answer every question that you guys have, and that's pretty much it. If there are any other rhinoplasty related videos that you guys want me to talk about, just let me know and I'll try to make a video about it. 3-month in-depth rhinoplasty update is happening in a few weeks. I can't believe almost 3 months. Jeez, time flies. Don't mind these sweatpants. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you. As always, I hope this video helped. And yeah, take your time when you are booking your rhinoplasty. There's literally no rush. I understand the urgency of wanting to get something done ASAP, but I just rather you take your time, do your research, and choose a surgeon that can actually give you what you want, than you rushing into it and being one of these unfortunate stories that I'm reading like constantly, which I think I have to take myself from those Facebook groups, because it's a lot. It's a lot to handle. But yeah, I will see you. Ending off this video is so sad. I will see you guys in the next one.